Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 6 selections for tomorrow's racing, and we're going to be going to Haydock for my first tip of the day. The 3 o'clock there, the Rose of Lancaster Stakes, and this is where my next best is going to be running, and that is a horse called Grocer Jack for Tom Marquand and William Haggas. At the time of recording was available at 6 to 4. I'm going to recommend a 1-point win bet here. Now, this horse isn't my most original selection, but I think he's got an excellent chance in this race tomorrow. Last time we saw him, he absolutely hacked up in the Steventon Stakes at Newbury, won by 9 lengths, eased down, and you have to say it was a very impressive performance. The form has worked out okay because we saw Finest Sound win at Thirsk earlier today in a conditions event, so it's good to see the form boosted there. But if you look at the official ratings, he's miles clear of anything in this race. He's already got Group 1 entries. He's entered for the Champions Stakes on Champions Day at Ascot in the autumn, and also as well he's got some entries in Australia. He's pretty versatile ground-wise as well. What was quite interesting is when he was previously trained in France and Germany, he actually handled a little bit of easing conditions, and last time out he was on really quick ground at Newbury, so he seems pretty versatile. And yeah, I think if he can break on terms here, I think he might just be able to get an easy lead on the front end of things, and it would be too good for them. And I think he can take another stepping stone here in his career. William Haggas's team going great guns at the moment. I just think this horse has got a really good chance tomorrow, and it could be easily a penalty kick for him. So that's why he's going to be my next best of the day. We then don't have to wait too long for my nap, which runs in the 3:15 at the Curragh in a Group 3 contest here, and that is Dubawi Legend for Shane Foley and Hugo Palmer, available at 7 to 2 at the time of recording. Now, this horse, Dubawi Legend, ran a very good race last time out when he was in third place at Newbury behind Minzal in the Hackwood Stakes. He was wearing first-time cheek pieces that day, and he was really seen to good effect in them. He's going to be keeping them on again tomorrow, and he was only beaten ahead by Go Bears Go, who I just think might have peaked now and could be starting to regress moving forward. I'm not sure if he's going to be a 3-year-old to follow, but I think Dubawi Legend over this kind of trip has got a lot of untapped potential. He's an interesting pedigree. He's actually from the family of Golden Pass, who was a listed winner for these connections, and actually was racing over further. So it's a bit strange that he's not gone up in trip, but he's shown plenty of speed, and he's always been a good horse. They thought really highly of him. He went off at a really short price for a Group 3 at York last year, but just things didn't pan out for him. But it turned out to be a hot race, so he's always had a lot of ability. But I think over this 6 furlong trip, he could come into his own. Shane Foley as well is a good jockey book, and interesting to see that Hugo Palmer is going with a local jockey. And I just think at 7 to 2 here, I think he could improve on that run, and if he does, I think he could take the world of beating, and it's a really interesting runner in this race, and he gets £3 from Go Bears Go. So that's why he's going to be my selection there. We then go to an extra selection at Ascot for the Curragh Cup, the 3:20, and I thought State of Bliss was a little bit overpriced here for Frankie Dettori and Charlie and Mark Johnson. 10 to 1, 4 places SkyBet. I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection here. Now, this horse, State of Bliss, actually won on the card last year in a different race in a 3-year-old handicap. But I think this has probably been the plan for him over the last couple of months. He's not been seen since the Royal Meeting, so he's had a little bit of a break to freshen up. And I just think tomorrow he might be able to bounce back. He's only £2 higher than when he won on this card last year. He's had a little bit of an up and down season, but like I say, I do think he's quite well handicapped. He's the typical Mark Johnson and Charlie Johnson horse. That 1 week they can run an absolute stinker, and then the next they can come to the fore. We saw that of Iron the Gambler last week, but I do think State of Bliss with Frankie aboard, he's got a good record, Frankie, when riding for the Johnstons, and I just think if he can get into a good position, I think he can go well in this race at Ascot, and that's why he's going to be an extra tip. We then go to my long shot of the day, which runs in the feature race at Newmarket, the 3:40, and I like the chances here of Mottisfont for George Rook and Hughie Morrison, available 16 to 1. William Hill, we're paying 4 places on that race. I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection. Now, I think the horses at the top of the market could be a little bit vulnerable here, even though this race has gone to experienced fillies in the past. But Mottisfont was a really interesting winner when she won on her debut. She was weak in the market that day, but she actually posted a really good time winning at Foss last, doing all her best work late on. And if you actually look at the family, It's one that Hughie Morrison knows really well. He's trained quite a few in this family, including the half-sister Romsey, who actually finished 4th in this race a couple of years ago, and she went on to finish 5th in the 1,000 guineas and was pretty versatile on all kinds of ground and over this trip. I just think she's bred to improve, and there could be a little bit more to come, and she's a nice, juicy double-figure price. And I think if she can step forward from that first last win, we've already seen the form work out okay. I think she could be a dangerous player in this race, and that's why she's going to be my long shot of the day. We then go to the 355 at Ascot with a horse called Bopedro for Jamie Spencer and David O'Meara, available at 7-1, 4 places, SkyBet. I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection. Now, this horse, Bopedro, has been running some good races at Ascot on his last couple of starts. He was last seen finishing 4th behind Tempest when he was doing all his best work late on. The time before that, he finished 8th in the Royal Hunt Cup. I just think this could be a winnable race for him. Jamie Spencer as well is a really eye-catching jockey book, and there's going to be quite a bit of pace on here. And I think if he goes under patient tactics that we know Spencer can deploy to really good effect, I think he could be doing all his best work late on. And I thought 7-1 was a little bit of a big price about him, and I think he's more than capable of holding his own in this kind of field. And yeah, I think he's a little bit of value there at 7-1 tomorrow. So that's why I'm going to put him up in the 355. We then go with my last tip of the day, the 4:30 at Ascot. Approachability here for Hayley Turner and Charlie and Mark Johnson. Currently available at 9-1, SkyBet 4 places. Now, if you go back and watch a replay of this horse last time out at Glorious Goodwood, he was a real eye-catcher and a very competitive handicap. He didn't get the clearest of runs, and he was staying on really strongly, doing all his best work late on behind some really nice horses, behind the likes of Secret State, Masgood, Solcombe, Mugadea was in there as well. I think it was a really good race for the grade, and it's one that's going to work out well. And Approachability, like I say, was a real eye-catcher. He's actually been dropped a pound for that run, down to the mark of 91. I think he's more than capable of getting involved here at a nice, juicy each way price. Hayley Turner as well. She likes to have winners on Curragh Cup Day. I think they found a good opportunity here of this horse, and if he can build on that eye-catching run at Goodwood last time out, I think he's a major danger here, and that's why he is going to be my last tip of the day. So they're the selections then for tomorrow's racing. Let me know in the comments box below what you're going to be back in tomorrow. If you're still enjoying these videos, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe here to the YouTube channel at LuckyLoads15. You can follow me on the socials as well, where I'm on Twitter and Insta at LuckyLoader15. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you again soon.